Right, it's wing mirror day. As ever, quite ill prepared. I haven't got any plastic trim toolkit stuff, so I've just gone and raided the kitchen and stolen some of the children's cutlery, which I'm kind of hoping will do the same thing. Okay, so as you may have seen, I've ordered a replacement wing mirror. I can't get the individual part I need because I think it's part of the whole moulding. So I've been looking online all throughout France and since we got back for a second-hand Fiat one, but there's either none in the area or there's still about £100. So I've opted for a replacement one at about £65, either to use as a donor or as a complete replacement if it's a nice fit. Let's give it a go. Alright, so first we've got to find our way into this trim, because as I understand, the 2 bolts here are matched for 2 behind this trim, and that's what I need to get off to get the wing mirror. I'm probably going to wish I did have the tools. That sounded productive. Oh, tell me that. Because the body of Stampy sadly is probably like the light edition, I don't have adjustable or heated wing mirrors. So although this comes with a cable for it, I've got nowhere to feed it. So really all I've got to do is take off the 4 bolts that I can see clearly here, and we're in. I can get to 3 of them, but I can't get to the 4th one without taking a lot more of this door off, which I don't want to do. So I'll figure something out. For now, my little mini electric screwdriver purchase is working out alright. There you go, 2 down, 2 to go. By the way, once again, if you're actually looking for professional advice on how to do things like this, wrong channel. Wrong guy, wrong channel. That's going to be my tricky 4th screw, isn't it? That you always have whenever you take something apart. I'll speed this bit up so it's less painful. Well, I just saw online that what I might be doing wrong here is actually this trim has to now go this way. So I'll try again with my little kids' cutlery trim tools and see if we can get it to come off. I have to say this Zest kiwi fruit spoon is probably not a great idea. It comes with serrated edges for cutting your kiwis out. I've got a feeling I'm probably doing a tiniest bit of damage. Well, it's that or I go to Halfords and I spend about 14 quid on a trim tool set, or 10 quid on Amazon. Either way, it's got to be better than scratching your own car up, isn't it? Don't watch, I'm going to have a little play and see if I can get this off. And then you can rejoin me. Ta-da! And I did it without breaking anything. I actually just used wooden throwaway single-use cutlery that we tend to keep and use multiple times. I just managed to push that down inside whilst focusing all the pressure on going right instead of out, where I would have no doubt smashed it. Got my handy cheap drill, which has still got some power in it, and a T40, what do you call that? A T40 head. It's not heavy, although it is covered in about 1 kilo of dead flies from Europe. Oh, there is a cable, of course there is, because there's an indicator. So, where does that go? I suspect it's down to the thing I didn't want to take off. Here, the speaker. The speaker trim next then. Well, we were going to, look at speakers at some point because they're tinny and cheap sounding, so why not look at them now? Here it is. Okay, that should be the cable for the wing mirror. That looks like it was drilled in by a child. String time before I pull that through. String. Right then, let's go get the new one. size. Right, so the first sort of obvious problem is this is black. 10 years ago, Stampy had black plastic too. Stampy has sun faded plastic now. So it does stand out a little bit, like a little bit too nice. So maybe I'll have to get some back to black, whatever it's called, bumper restorer. Essentially, I'm giving up on the idea of a donor. So although the new one isn't as flush as the old one, perhaps when I screw it in it will be. It's jet black, which doesn't match the rest of the plastic on Stampy, so it stands out a little bit. However, looking at the back of the old wing mirror, it will take forever and a day to sort of take it apart and use it as a donor thing to get a closer match. And I simply don't have the time, to be honest, or maybe even the inclination. So I'm going to settle for the new looking mirror, which obviously isn't Fiat branded. It's safer than we had before, and I can get on with the next job. So I've just got to put all the trim back on without breaking anything. Okay, so there's our wing mirror, but where this sticks out here, as you open the door, this starts to rub against that. So the only problem I can see with that is the plastic's going to get a little bit worn, but given all the other problems we've got, it's down the bottom of the list. Okay, let me just show you where the wire's plugged in, and then another thing I've just spotted. So here's where our indicator cable comes down through there, underneath and through a little tiny cut in the metal up there, and then through to this mount here, which just slides sideways, and then the whole section comes off. So that's all back in now, and the string's removed. There's something else I've just spotted. Okay, so there's my side indicator there. And there's the indicator from the old one. In my opinion, the new bulb doesn't look as bright as the old bulb. I don't know if it's an LED or something, but again, I can't worry about these things. At night I'm sure it's fine, but it'll have to do. Okay, time to put the trim back on, and then we're done. I say we because you kind of feel like, I'm feeding off your energy, but essentially it's just me. That was about 10,000 times quicker than taking it off. Right, time for a tea. Right, well, I've put it off long enough. We've been back a little while now, and although we got into the habit of taking out the toilet cassette, so we did that as soon as we got back, and we flushed through the water and treated all that with chemicals, we've been putting off unpacking the van. We've done a certain amount, but it's just like when you move house and then stuff stays in boxes for ages. But I need to get on and actually get this nice and tidy so we can get ready for our next escape. Plus I also need to just go around the van and sort out all the little repairs, or find the things that need fixing and see what I can do. So yep. There's enough of France in there that I could probably start my own little principality. Fishy too. Hang on. Oh yeah, it's not real, is it? Yes, time for a little bit of dusting with my high quality Asda polish and very manly duster. Right, just got the rest of the thing to do now. As you do, there's a sword. And another sword. Someone being a bit too firm with the curtains. It just goes up in that track. There we go. I mean, as curtains go, it's a rather sort of small curtain. Let's get some of this bedding back up where it belongs, nice and neat. Right, that's the bed area sorted. Just as I moved everything, I remembered we got this issue here with the seatbelt. Looking online, I can't seem to buy the recoil on its own. I also, even with serial numbers and stuff, I can't even seem to find the exact replacement, especially with this particular type of top. Now, it wouldn't matter if this was the only seatbelt, but because it's next to another one of a pair, it's going to look odd if it's not the same. So what I've had to do is I've ordered just a generic 3-point universal car seat belt off of eBay, I think this time, for about £16. What I'm going to hopefully do is either, you be like the wing mirror, start off with the idea that I can use the recoil bit or the tensioner as a replacement, like a donor part. And if I can thread this back into a new tensioner, I can keep all the other parts. So that's going to be here in a couple of days, and then I can give that a good go. Otherwise, we'll just settle for it being slightly different, and probably no one else will know except me. Another sword. This one much tinier. Do not spray near eyes or face. Of course, do not breathe spray, it says, which means I probably should have opened a window or 3. Ah, now, snack cupboard. I'm glad you asked. Come here. I had a problem with this handle getting stuck because this fitting had come slightly out, so the normal twist wasn't enough to open it. So some child decided just to pull harder and harder until it eventually ripped itself through this frame. So I'm going to take this off, we'll stick some PVA in there and clamp this, try and make it look a little bit less, yeah, a little bit less like that. So here's my essential kit for repairing the cupboard. PVA glue, clamps, big drill because I can't find my little cheap bolty thing, applicator, also known as disposable cutlery, and something to help along the way. The thing is, I might end up gluing my clamp to the wood. Probably do that two plates. Right, let's hope it doesn't glue the clamps on. I appear to be making more mess than I'm actually clearing up. The oven needs a little bit of a clean, I can see that. And oh my days, we've left this a little bit too long. So the trouble is, of course, when we got back, it's September. So all the kids' classes have kicked in. It's little mini trips in and out all day long. Poor old Stampy's been a little bit neglected. So if Stampy was an animal, you know, we'd be in trouble for neglect. Dripping wet Dijon mustard, anybody? Should have learned by now, you don't leave your fridge door shut when it's in storage. Right, I've made more work for myself. Well, those of a nervous or weak disposition, look away now. Oh my god, look at that, it's disgusting. Oh my god. Yeah, this is how we like it, warts and all. So this was a pet hate on our road trips. So it was the first thing we opened in the morning, but also the noises. So if we were getting up and trying to keep the kids in bed for a tiny bit, this would be really annoying. So I've got a can of silicone lubricant. Might work, might not. Right, I need to protect the cups in there. So I'm just going to cover those. And those. That's it. The noisiest thing now is this handle. As ever, I completely forgot I was doing something out here. So this has now been gluing for several hours. Hopefully I haven't glued the clamps to my unit because that could be a bit awkward. Let's get them off. I know what you're thinking. It looks terrible, but it actually looked a lot worse, and at least it's stable now. So, and if I can, I mean, this is only one single bit of wood here. If I can match it, I'll replace it. But Stampy's already quite old, so who knows where I'll get this from. And you can see that that's not shutting straight. Oh, I think I might look at that tomorrow. It may be this is just round the wrong way and that needs to come closer. It's like it's been sent here to annoy me today. I'll flip it around. Take two. Yes. That's how much of a thumbs up I'm giving this. Woohoo! Right, now this is the bit I'm interested in. Right, let's see how it compares. Now I know it's hard to believe, but I think I've just been a bit of an idiot. I was just about to unroll the webbing, the seatbelt webbing from this unit and see if I could possibly attach the webbing from the old unit so I could match the fittings at the top. Yeah, as I saw in the picture, this one comes with, if I can grab it, this kind of top, and I was, yep, it's not the same. I want to change that. And then I turned around, and what I didn't even think about was that these are actually hidden all the time by this big cushion. It's just that I've had it for so long off like this that I keep thinking that's the final look. I'll keep hold of this old one though, partly because I'm a hoarder, and partly because another day I might actually, if I'm really bored and got nothing else to do, try and attempt to do what I thought I was going to do 5 minutes ago. For now, it should just be a simple case of undoing this bolt, taking that off and bolting in this one. Job's good. The only thing I haven't checked is whether this fits the flexible. I'll come to the flexible one too. Okay, a lot of these seat belts come with hard, rigid buckles, like connectors. And because of the nature of the cushions moving and the slide out seats here, I can't have anything that's rigid. It needs to be flexible. And it turns out the one I bought is. So we might replace both those things. Easy job, right? 5 minutes. Let's do it. Well, one of those bolts was playing a little bit hard to get, but that's it out, so it's time to get the new one in. Well, it's been a few days since I was last working on this seatbelt project, and with good reason, because on opening the packages I found that the bolts were in 2 different sizes. There's about 3 types of washer, and comparing it to the old bolts I couldn't understand which order they went in. So I looked back at the listing, there's no instructions. I looked through the box, no instructions. It sounds so simple, and if you've done this before it probably is easy. However, there's just enough doubt to make me want to stop and check. So I emailed the eBay seller. Dear Mr. Seller, please can you send me the instructions for the seatbelt? Yours sincerely, Dennis. I received a message back saying, we've checked your tracking and you've received the parcel. Can you please check in your outside spaces? To which I replied, I've received the parcel, no problem. It's the instructions I need. Please send them as soon as possible. Yours sincerely, Dennis. To which he replied with silence. So no help from him. What I've managed to figure out is for my 4 bolts and my 4 holes here, 3 are the same. The one being different, I think it's called a shoulder bolt, and this is the bolt that goes in this part here, because this is the part that has to flex. So I've just got to bolt this all in. Time me. Let's go. This bit's a bit fiddly. Or maybe this is the fiddly bit. There we are. Now I'm assuming this goes through the hole. Otherwise, there is absolutely no way this can be fitted. Okay, so the cap didn't close, which means I put too much on one side. So this big fat bolt has got to go on the other side. There, so although this is what I didn't really want, it's two straps that don't match, it's all going to be covered up by the cushion, so job's good one. Come out of there. There we go, another job ticked off. Well, this is a bit different. I've just stolen the motorhome to escape from our house for a little lunchtime cuppa down at the shore. And I'm joined by the scene of a low tide, some rain, a few, attractive birds. Nothing for B to worry about anyway. Yes, it was finally time to head 2.5 hours north to Droitwich, the home of Caravan Crazy. Those of you who couldn't quite see, if you've got eyes like mine, let me tell you, on the back of that truck, there's a whole heap of Christmas trees, which of course means it's November, the first month of Christmas. Right, eyes on the road. So, about 15 minutes away now from my destination, and I have to say this winter sun, although it's really beautiful against the orange trees and stuff, it's a killer when you've got Sammy nose smudges all over your window that you didn't realise were there until the sun shone on them. I don't know how impressed either the guys at Caravan Crazy are going to be with my patent pending bin bag window. But I'll tell you what is impressive is the price, because for £1 you get 50 windows on a roll. Unlike the replacement window they're going to be bringing in from Italy for me. That's a little bit more expensive. Well, here I am at Caravan Crazy's industrial estate. Now Chris is expecting me about now, I'm a bit late, but he's not expecting me to film, so I might not be filming much of what goes on, but I'll definitely fill you in afterwards. Let's go get Stampy measured up. Well, this is not what I was expecting. It's practically the Willy Wonka factory of caravan windows. That's it, it's ordered. Stampy's going to be getting a window very soon. So I'm back from Droitwich, I think it was. Done a good couple hundred miles today in Stampy. Didn't need the heating on the way round, but interestingly, I've come back and I thought, well, I'll put it on as a test because I've got, basically, I'm on reserve, or just above reserve, so not over the halfway mark on the tank, which is something one person told me might be the problem, is that there's not enough fuel in there, so the system doesn't kick in. But Stampy's really going for it. So in my mind it suggests that the battery is the problem, which is something we can look at getting done when we've got the cash. For now, I've got to fix the bin bag window again. It didn't enjoy the journey, funnily enough. Plus, it's gonna rain in the next hour and I can't leave it like that. Well, I doubt you can see it in this light, but there's so much residual gaffer tape all around that window, it's gonna need a heck of a clean before we fit the new one, otherwise I won't be able to get around it. Right, you've seen this all before. It's bin bag number 6. Going on. Hey, look at that, good as new. Even better news, the whole time I've been doing that, the heating's been on, so it does work. I'm just going to go and warm up because I'm freezing. Well, I've got the cool and the windows in stock, so what better day to drive all the way up towards Birmingham from the south coast than on the rainiest day in the last week that we've had. It does make things a tiny bit difficult. We were going to try and do a big old trip, but it's December, it's crazy month, so it's just me doing a solo trip again. The worst thing I've got to do is take, obviously, the bin bag off the window. At some point, before they fit the new one. And while they do, I want to clear off all the gunk that's been left there by the various layers of gaffer tape that I've used. But I've got to find somewhere dry to do it. So it's either going to be right outside their unit or undercover at a service station or something. Anyway, we'll see how that plays out. For now, I think I've got enough cables, leads, batteries, water, I don't know. Bound to forget something, aren't I? Anyway, let's hit the road. Right, well, 152 miles and a veggie pasty later, we're back at Caravan Crazy again to meet Chris and Lewis, who are going to help fit Stampy's replacement window. And not a moment too soon by the looks of it. That's my view as I've pulled up. It looks like bin bag number 6. Didn't quite make it. But before all of that, I've got to clean the glue off the window. Well, I didn't realise it was in quite such a state. I'm not sure when that happened. Somewhere along one of those boring motorways I've been on. Anyway, the guys have lent me their ladder. It's time to get cleaning. Unfortunately, the White Spirit had zero effect on the glue. The lads did offer me some heavy duty glue remover, except it sounded like it would take the paint and my skin off at the same time, so I opted just to sort it out later. And in case you're wondering how long it takes to fit a window, I've added a handy little timer in the corner to show you. Don't tell me that's it.
That's it. Yeah, that is it.
Well, that was a long old wait for 30 seconds, but I didn't trust myself, so thanks guys. As you can see, a lot of glue and other stuff remains, but that's a battle for another day. Right now, admire the nice new window, because there's another problem. Stampy's peeling. I'm not sure if this is because of the heat in France last summer, or stone chips, or a poor paint job from a previous life, but whatever it is, it looks expensive. Well, that's all for this video. More fixes and fun in the future. Don't forget to subscribe, and until our next escape, thanks for watching.